Doamnelor, domnilor, bine v-am găsit, urmăriți Lumea Diplomatică. În următoarele 25 de minute intrăm în culisele negocierilor și acordurilor ce pot rescrie istoria Europei în următorii 50 de ani. Turcia va găzdui în luna iulie acestui an summitul NATO la Ankara. Acesta e important și pentru România, fiindcă vor fi promovate teme de interes pentru țara noastră, cum e, spre exemplu, securitatea din regiunea Mării Negre. Totodată, în perioada următoare, președintele Erdogan va face o vizită istorică în România. Aflați informații în exclusivitate despre această vizită, dar și despre summitul NATO din această vară, dintr-un interviu în exclusivitate cu ambasadorul Turciei la București. Your Excellency, thank you so much for having us. What are the key stakes of the President of Turkey's visit to Romania, and what is the broader significance of this visit for bilateral relations?
As you know, Turkey and Romania are strategic partners for the last 15 years, since 2011. So this will be the 15th anniversary of our strategic partnership. This is why this visit will be all the more significant. And it's also going to be 11 years after the last visit of our president in Romania. We have established a very important mechanism, strategic cooperation high-level council. So this will be the second meeting of this high-level council after Prime Minister Çolak's visit in 2024. A number of agreements are going to be signed. We are going to renew our strategic partnership, and I think in the current security environment, this is all the more relevant for both of our countries. Turkey and Romania are enjoying this strategic partnership in multiple lanes. We're not a single topic partner. We have a giant military defense industry linkage. We both care a lot about securitatea din Marea Neagră. This is dear to our heart. So we're working together on all of these topics, but beyond the security field, we are also huge economic and commercial partners. Sometimes people in Turkey, Romania, on the street, they don't know this, but we are giant partners for ourselves, between ourselves. There's a huge commercial volume back and forth. There's a lot of investment coming from the Turkish companies into Romania, and it's not in mambo jumbo, it's in real economy, in factories. We have a large Turkish and Turkish Tatar community living in Dobruja in peace. They love it here. They're proud Romanian citizens, but they're also proud of their origins, to be Turkish and Tatar. Romania is according them all the liberty to express themselves in their traditions, way of life, language, religion. So this already creates a very positive vibe between our countries. Beyond the fact that we are so close, only 50 minutes from Istanbul to Bucharest, and we have tens and tens of flights every day. So we have lots of Romanian tourists visiting our beautiful country, and lots of Turkish tourists wanting to come to Romania if it wasn't for the difficulty they experience with the visa issue. I think Turkish tourists can be number one in the tourism market in Romania. And all the hospitality businesses, they can dance sârbu and hora all day long because it will be so good for business. But we need to improve the visa. So all of these issues will be discussed. Yes, we're hoping that this takes place before the NATO summit in Ankara in July. So it's most probable that it will take place around May, June time frame, notwithstanding all the madness going on in the Middle East.
How is the relationship between the European Union and Turkey evolving?
Turkey doesn't need EU permission for being European. We are European for 1,000 years, and we still are. Our strategic objective is to become a full European member one day. But even before that day, we need to strengthen every linkage possible between EU and Turkey. Visa. I mean, let's take the visa issue. Turkey is an economy of $1.6 trillion. In the next 10 years, it will be $3 trillion. So Turkish people, they have the purchasing power. They want to travel. But do you know how difficult it is for Turkish citizens to travel? For example, I told you about the example in Romania. There could be number one, because they are number one in Serbia. Also, 1.5 million tourists go to Greece because of a mechanism. Why not Romania? I think Romania is losing every year hundreds of millions of euros because of this problem. Also, I think customs union update.
What does the organization of this year's NATO summit mean for your country, Your Excellency?
I think for Turkey, but also for the entire alliance, this is going to be one of the most important summits ever. Because we see all this 360 degrees conflict around us, around the alliance. So we have to discuss, we have to find ways, how can we encounter all this security challenge? On one way, of course, on one side, we need to make sure there's a stronger European pillar taking more responsibility of the security in North Atlantic and in European areas, of course. So we have to revisit the commitments that were agreed in the Hague summit of NATO last year. And as you know, there are some commitments by all allies to bring the expenditure to 3.5 and with infrastructure 5%. So all of this has to be put on the table and see what we did in the last 1 year, how can we do better, and also while strengthening the European pillar, also we have to strengthen the transatlantic linkage, because this is the essence of our North Atlantic alliance. On one side, the European identity, the European responsibility should be enhanced, strengthened, but on the other side, equally important, we have to keep the transatlantic link. So all of this are going to be on the agenda while the conflicts in the Middle East and Ukraine, Russia are ongoing. So it's going to be a historic summit.
How can Turkey contribute to enhancing the security of critical infrastructure in the Black Sea region?
Look, Black Sea is dear to us. I know it's very important for Romania. It's equally important for Turkey. Turkey has the longest shoreline in the Black Sea. We are also the gatekeeper of the Turkish Strait. So the security and stability of the Black Sea is very important. There's also energy lines, pipelines, some energy basins. As you know, we have Sakarya Basin, Romania has Neptune Deep, and also Bulgaria has important resources here, and They decided to tap into that. So I believe among the three allies, first and foremost, we have to strengthen our regional ownership to help strengthen security in the Black Sea area. We already have some mechanisms, as you know. There's the MCM Black operation, which was initiated against the mine threat, and this was very relevant. They did something really good. But even more important is this operation has helped the three allies to strengthen their interoperability, which is key in terms of cooperation among allies. So I think now we are going to be able to expand the scope of this MCM Black operation into critical energy infrastructure protection, which is a common interest for Turkey and Romania and Bulgaria. We will have to see and sustain situational awareness of the Black Sea, and at the same time do all the observation, reconnaissance, and work together to protect this infrastructure. It's not kinetic, it's more a joint collaboration for observation and protection. So, and I believe the ministers of defense of the three countries are going to sign this new addition to this operation either by the time of the president's visit, Turkish president's visit, President Erdogan's visit to Romania, or at the latest, I'm thinking, during the NATO summit in Ankara, which is my hometown. Yes.
What are the most important Turkish investments in Romania, in which sectors of activity, and how have they developed?
Atatürk, the founder of the Turkish Republic, he said that Romania's strength is Turkey's strength, and Romania is a brother for Turkey. So, of course, all of this has paved the way. Following this period, of course, we have this football diplomacy with Hagi and Popescu, with Lucescu, Pancu, Moldovan, all these players made a huge din suflet contribuție in the friendship. And I think also the fact that the Turkish community, the Tatar community here were so welcome in freedom, it really helped the Turkish businesses to feel themselves very comfortable. So in automotive, there's a very important Turkish investment in car production. Also, of course, another important area is food processing, wood processing, agriculture, now energy. It's unbelievable. We have so much investment from the Turkish companies that are investing in photovoltaic, in the solar energy. It's amazing. I know the amount, and this is amazing. So in total, all of this investment, I think it amounts to $13–14 billion, and which is a large number. They are contributing to exports of Romania, a huge, for example, one of these companies, they're number 2 exporter of Romania. Defense is a new area, defense industry. Our model for defense industry cooperation, especially when it comes to our allies, is based on win-win. Joint production, sharing of technology, and doing it together. Commercially, the volume that we have achieved in 2025 has surpassed 12 billion euros. And I believe in 5 to 10 years, it's going to redouble itself because we are natural partners.
How do you think NATO should transform itself to face new challenges?
Of course, I mean, this is this is not an easy question because times are changing. I think NATO should adapt itself. There's AI, there's cyber threats, there's threats to energy security. So we should be increasing our readiness and create more synergies. Also agree that, and we have already agreed among the allies, that security is not a single topic phenomenon. It has 360 degrees notion. So we have to be vigilant, we have to evolve ourselves in defense industry, in how we approach to European security, increase the European pillar, as I indicated, but also, of course, with our American allies, because this transatlantic link has to be sound, and continuing to increasing our defense capacities. It will be not an easy job to evolve, transform, reinvent, but look, NATO has been one of the strongest, if not the strongest, defense alliance, political military alliance of the world, with our strong political resolve and a very strong Turkish army. We are the bulwark of security here. We don't like to fight anyone, but we always keep ourselves very strong because deterrence is very important. I think we are also considered a part of the eastern flank because we are right here. We are in the Black Sea, and therefore I think we have to work on multiple areas. Capability development, military exercises, forward presence of NATO force and command structures, air and missile defense. These are all very important. We have to keep very active, and Turkey is doing a fantastic contribution in all of these fields. We take part in NATO enhanced air policing missions. We have done this in a number of countries in the eastern flank. We have done this in Romania through our F-16s. 4 F-16s of Turkey were here 2 years ago with 100 staff, and at the end of 2026 we will repeat this because Romania is very important for us, NATO is very important for us. We will again put this presence forward. Military mobility, this is key. So when we're building infrastructure, we have to also mind that one day, God forbid, Doamne ferește, this could be used also for our militaries, for our soldiers, for the tank, for the armored vehicles. This is very important. So Turkey, Bulgaria, Romania, we have a military mobility group in Cadrul NATO, and we have to make sure that this connectivity is seamless. So when an ally needs help from another ally, the road should be there, the bridge should be there, the railway should be intact and strong. I think this is very important for the entire eastern flank. Western Europe, they have fixed long time ago their connectivity issues. We have not done this in Eastern Europe. Turkey has done it. But we now have to enlarge this network into the entire eastern flank.
What is Turkey's proposed formula for peace to end the war between the Russian Federation and Ukraine?
This is a very difficult question, my friend. I don't have a very detailed answer to this, but for us, from the outset, we have not agreed to what happened in Ukraine. Turkey supports Ukraine's territorial integrity and sovereignty. And we did not raise our voice only 4 years ago. Already during the invasion of Crimea, we said this is unacceptable. We were one of the countries at that time who were really strong in raising their voice in terms of reaction. So we have been consistent. But also, this war, it's a lose-lose for everyone. Lose for Russia, lose for Ukraine, lose in the Black Sea, lose for Europe, lose for Turkey. We need to employ, we need to mobilize more diplomacy. This is our biggest weapon. Because we have seen for 4 years that the arms, weapons, they did not bring peace. Turkey has done a tremendous effort from the early days of the conflict. We brought the parties together in Istanbul, in Antalya, already 2-3 months into the armed conflict. They were close. They were close to a compromise. But unfortunately, at that time, we had more appetite internationally for more conflict. I must say this. But we have never changed our position. We always support diplomacy. Turkey is ready to host in the future negotiations, talks between Ukraine and Russia. And of course, any deal for Ukraine must include Ukrainians. It cannot be a peace deal agreed somewhere else among some other people. This is their country. They are proud people. So, but it is time that we reach a better atmosphere. Why shouldn't Black Sea become an area like Western Europe, where we have more commercial activity, more cooperation, constructing together energy? We have so much potential, a lot of smart people. We can turn this place into heaven, but we need to stop this madness first.
How does Turkey assess the risk of the current Iran conflict spilling over into the wider region, especially after reports of drones and missiles moving toward Turkish airspace?
We don't agree with any of this, and we're not a part of this conflict. Our president, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, Turkey in general, we made a superhuman effort before this renewed armed conflict started. We tried to stop it, and I think we postponed it. It was going to start already in January. One of our strongest dimensions as Turkey is diplomacy. So we strongly called on the parties, all parties, to stay away from this conflict. But it started. It started. We know who started this. And now, once that it started, we are doing the same effort, and actually even more strong effort, to bring it to an end. We also don't agree the attack on Iran, and we also don't agree Iran spreading this to the whole region. This is another lose-lose for everyone. When we walk, I went to the military service, we always said every Turk is born a soldier. This is how this was taught to us in the military service. Everybody goes to military.
A mindset.
But it's a mindset, yes. But we never prefer this. We prefer cooperation.
Given the recent incidents involving drones near Turkey, what role could Ankara play in preventing further escalation?
We told them, as I indicated, that this is a mistake, and Iranians, they said, we didn't do this. But we warned, of course, and we reserved our right to do what's necessary if this repeats itself, but this is not our emphasis. Our emphasis today is on diplomacy, to bring an end. Of course, this is not easy, because some people, they want the continuation of the war, which is a mistake. We tell everybody that we have, all of us, we have more to gain if we stop the war, ceasefire, some peace deal. Let's walk towards the future.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for your time.
I thank you.